Hello, everyone. This is Ken Quigley from Keystroke. Today's deep dive webinar is going to be on a few products because we actually have a number of product updates to report on. But one of the unique things is that there's a number of products that are now going to be integrating with other products that we're going to be talking about. So, we certainly let all our handheld contact customers know that we've made updates to Qsales, and we also improved handheld contact to capture some of that data. Okay. Also, some of the feature changes in Quicktasks are now incorporating Web Planner and also increase the integration with ACT. So there's a number of cross integrations that we have to report on you today. So I want to just kind of set the stage before we begin. So the first thing is we've written and documented all of these things, so I don't want anyone feeling the urge that they've got to, document anything. I'm going to be showing blogs detailing all of the different information that we're going to be covering today. Also, for those that aren't able to make it, we will be sending around to anyone that registered the recording of the event, which is going to be down here, Keystroke training videos, and then the Keystroke product videos, and then you can expect it to be down here. Here's a lot of the previous ones we've done this year. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Now, I've got permission from a customer to be displaying his data. It's not current. It doesn't include about 6 months to a year's worth of data, so he was fine with it. So I'm going to be showing that as a demo. So the first thing we're going to be covering is Qsales, because Qsales was a product that we acquired a few months ago. We've been making some fairly dramatic improvements to it, and we released version 12.2 recently. So on the blog here, you click on blog. You will see this new upgrade to Qsales expected June 8th, which is obviously passed. And here is a breakdown of all of these improvements. What I'm going to do is just going to give a brief overview instead of just reading this off, give a brief overview of what those changes look like. So let's jump into that. Okay, we're going to act, clear this activity. So what is Qsales? Qsales basically integrates and syncs a lot of the transactional data that you've got with a customer from QuickBooks. What I like to say is, ACT is great for understanding a contact is a contact, but until you integrate their accounting information, you can't really understand them as a customer. So, Qsales really gives you visibility on them within ACT as both a contact and a customer. So let's see what that looks like. So the first thing, I'm going to go over here and click on the QB transactions, and this is what all the transaction details look like. Very, very clean, well laid out, all organized as a custom table. Now, what's key to that is this is not a dynamic link. So if you take your ACT database on a laptop away, that you're going to lose all this data. This data is part of the information in your database. And the other nice thing is what we've done is, because we're a developer of the custom tables distributed by SwiftPage, what we did is we implemented some of the functionality of custom tables in here. So like, for instance, here, we can right click and we can say sum, and we can immediately see all the information, relating to what this account was worth. We can right click and we can even add one, and we can say, let's go to the average. So what was their average transaction? Okay, so this is information that someone can literally, now that we're in the summer, take away to the cottage. They don't have to remote in, and they can analyze the data, away from their network. So all of this information is now within ACT, which has previously never been the case. Now, the other thing is we have improved the speed of all of this data, because all of this data used to refresh through what's called the SDK, the software development kit, which when we learned when we were developing the custom tables in the first place 3 years ago, really refreshed the information very, very slowly. And one of the things we wanted to do was introduce an entire business level of detail, so you can see all the transactions within a company. Well, the data was refreshing way too slowly for that. So what we did is we now display the information through what's called OLEDB, okay, which is a dramatically faster way of displaying the list information. And let me show you what that looks like. Here is a tab over here called QB Transactions. This is a global view. You see here, this is under this contact. If I click here, okay, come on. Always get a little bit of delay um, with the GoToMeeting. But here is all of the information now for all of the transactions. And you can see here, you can select, well, what do I want to see? Maybe I don't want to see credit memos. Maybe I don't want to see sales orders. And I don't want to see estimates. Well, let's put credit memos back. I certainly don't want to see POs. And I'll just click on that. And that allows me to immediately refresh all the information. Now, if this information was under the old system, like running through the SDK, this would have been really, really slow. So we were really happy with the performance improvement on that. Okay, and the other thing that we did that was just a practical thing, because a lot of the people, you know, especially when we were integrating it in, a lot of our staff wanted to know, well, how do I know if this person, you know, their account is in good standing? Do we have something here that, you know, we can surface so a customer, like one of our staff, doesn't authorize further expenses for someone that hasn't paid their bill? So what we've done is we created this little, you know, green or red light button called the past due notification. And what that does is it looks over to the QB data tab, okay, which we'll get to shortly. And if there's anything in this tab here above $100, this whole thing will turn red. So let's actually take a look at what that looks like. Okay, and save. And now it automatically turns red. Okay, and that we heard was really, really welcome for a lot of staff that wouldn't normally have access to accounting data. They're now seeing that information, you know, live right in front of them. So there's, you know, kind of that red light stop message for a customer that has an overdue balance. So that, from an admin standpoint, really extended, you know, that visibility in terms of the account status out to everyone that had access to ACT. So people were really, really happy with that. Specifically, this is a Qsales feature, so anyone that had ACT and Qsales installed. Now, the other thing that we did is we integrated what's called quoting, or quoting for ACT, into the product. So just to quickly review what that looks like, let's say I wanted to go in here, okay, pull up an opportunity. Now, one of the things that we often get asked is, you know, what's the best quoting solution? Because the template, the Excel Word template within ACT isn't terribly strong, okay, and it's easy to break. So what we did is, a couple of years ago, we built quoting for ACT, and then we realized that once we acquired Qsales, you know, quoting was something that actually made sense as a pre-sales tool, and then the accounting information was obviously post-sales because it related to information that had closed, like the sales that had closed. So what we wanted to do was have something that predated the actual sales, which is naturally quoting. So we created this little utility, okay, and this automatically converts any quote, any opportunity into a quote. So it converts everything on over, all the details, everything here. And then if you want to see what the quote looks like, there it is, and then it's ready to send. Okay, nice, clean, professional looking quote. And we've got a number of different profiles that we had people ask us for. Okay, so if you wanted to have, like we had, like here's the keystroke one. If you wanted to have a different logo, different colors for different departments within the same business, then what you can do is just set up a preset here, and you can have all different disclaimers. And here's the email body information just to show you what that looks like. And we click on email quote. Okay, and that goes out and it's automatically attached. Okay, this product alone was worth $100. Okay, it's currently selling for $100 and is now included with Qsales as a free update, and with for the whole Qsale price of $159.95. So we think that that adds significant value to it. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and just return to the QB data tab. Okay. You can see that the GoToMeeting always creates a little bit of sluggishness, so bear with me. Okay, so here's the tab again. Now these are fields that what it does is it takes all of the data that was in the custom tables that I showed you earlier, and it actually calculates these on a regular basis. So all of these things are not being copied from QuickBooks, they're actually being copied or calculated from the QB Transactions tab. Okay, and that's an important detail because that means that when this gets updated, all of this is going to refresh even on remote databases. Okay. So it's calculating from data that's actually inside the database, which is key when you're going to be offline. Okay. So now you can see out of all of this, you've got your last 5 years worth of data. Okay. And then you've got a number of key contact fields that really are important. Like here's past due balance, here's total balance, here's the first invoice date. Okay. Last invoice date, first invoice date, and then here's the last payment, average sales, lifetime sales. Okay, all of these things are really, really key. Okay, so when you look at those things, you've got the total balance, past due balance, lifetime sales amount, payment terms, credit limit, last invoice, and first invoice. Now, why are we bringing this up in terms of the handheld contact context, which because we communicated this out to so many of our handheld contact customers? Well, it's because recently we integrated one-touch integration of these 7 custom fields. Okay, so let's bring them on over. I'll show you. This is what it looks like. So now, if you are going into your handheld contact API tool, then or your application, all you've got to do is go under setup, select this. You see here, here's a little, you click on this, this will show you a bit of information on it, but you just enable this radio button and all of these fields instantly will rise to the top and indicate as mapped. Okay, so no having to go through and sort out, cherry pick which ones. And by the way, this in the API one, you actually get these added to the 75 fields that you're currently provided as part of the custom fields mapping. Okay, so if you've got 75 fields in the API and they're all filled up, it doesn't matter because you will actually get 7 more with this new feature. In Classic, there was a little bit more limits in terms of what we can add in terms of the custom tables because it had, there was too many areas that we had to touch. So what we did is we just added it to the last 7 so that, it was part of the 75 fields. Okay, so this was added to the last one. And then, so when you enable this, okay, with one button, this is how it looks like in your, on your phone. Okay, so you look up a contact and you can immediately see, okay, here is my total business with the person. Okay, and I can scroll down and see the last invoice. I could see the amount past due. Now this isn't past due, this is age data. Okay, I can see their terms, okay, which is really important. And then I can see their credit limit. Now often if it's not stipulated, it will come across as 0. And then the first invoice. Now why would I want the first invoice? Well, we included that because that tells you how long this person has been an active customer. Okay, and then the total balance, okay, that they have currently right here. Now, why is all of this information relevant? Well, one of the people that will be joining us on this is Victor Cron, and Victor and I have worked for a long time together. And I remember one case where we were flying out to Montreal to visit some of our staff out there, and we were talking about a customer, and we literally were saying, we wonder if this guy had paid their bill because there'd been a number of inquiries about that. I pulled out my phone, I looked it up. Now back then, I had manually mapped it all, and he was really impressed that right there in Handheld Contact, I had all that data. So when we acquired Qsales, we thought, how can we make this information that was so useful to me, okay, so readily and easily available for our customers. So we created this little one-button mapping, and now any customer that you've got as part of Qsales automatically comes over, and you're going to have this information at your fingertips regardless of where you are. So any of your sales.
And the reason it's important is because we were in the airport, and the customer, he was from Europe, had just asked me to send over 50 more license keys because they were a distributor, they were buying in bulk.
Thank you.
And they said, I need them right away. So I was going to start creating them. And I said, can't have these guys pay their bills. And Ken pulled up his phone, and 2 minutes later, I could email them and said, no, I can't send you these keys till you pay the bill. 10 minutes later, they had paid their bill. And before a flight took off, I could send them the keys.
Yep, it was
Yeah.
absolutely critical because we weren't connected to any networks or anything like that. And we're sitting in a coffee shop at the airport, and we had that information instantly at our disposal, just based on the mapping that I've done. And like I said, that was something that I saw the value in prior to us acquiring Qsales, and then obviously once we did, we realized this is something that we want to make easier so that everyone at the click of a button can access. So that was one of the things where you see the improvement in Qsales, you see the improvement in the speed of the data, and now you're going to see how it kind of cross-pollinates over into another program like Handheld Contact. Okay. Any questions so far, Vic?
No questions. Should I show just the console, just the check mark? It's real quick.
Okay, so
Or
I see
oh,
Kelly has asked, and I think I know what do you still need a paid license to see the QB the transactions tab under a contact, in contrast to another program, where everyone can see. Okay, so let me just say, to see all of the data, okay, under the QB transactions, I'm actually on an RDB that's not connected to QuickBooks at all. So all of this data is actually on an RDB, nowhere near connected to our cloud where all of our QuickBooks is. So that's really, really nice. So you can really reduce your QuickBooks licensing, which is extraordinarily expensive. I mean, we spend about $500 a month. Okay, so having that information is really, really valuable. Now there are some functions that you can only do, okay, when you have QuickBooks installed as well. Okay, like like refreshing the information, connecting to QuickBooks to convert an invoice. Okay, and that's our main programming objective to fix, and we expect to have that done by the end of July. That's not a small undertaking, but what it's going to do is that we're going to have a service running on the server that will eliminate the one-to-one licensing ratio that you need for Qsales and QuickBooks to perform all functions. We're going to connect to QuickBooks through a service that only has one login, and that we think that anyone that's using this can be saving, anywhere from $500 to like $1,000 a year just by having this upgraded technology. So we're aiming to have that released, version 13, before the end of the year. We're really excited about that. Was one of our initial priorities, but we wanted to get out some of these updates that were some of the lower hanging fruit. So that's what we did. Okay. Thank you, Kelly. Excellent question. Now, the next thing that we're going to be covering is a program that we're really, really happy about. A program that, it's often that what we do is we develop add-ons based on what we think are like a perceived need. Okay, and we don't have focus groups or anything like that. We figure we're regular ACT customers, so we imagine that if it's useful to us, it will be useful to others. So what we did is we developed a program called Quicktasks. Now, the Quicktasks has kind of become an inside joke internally, because we've been improving it so dramatically. Everyone's saying it's going to become its own CRM soon. That isn't obviously an objective, because it's a really, really powerful CRM enabling tool. But what we want to do is we want to show you where we've taken it. So the first thing is, here is the blog. Okay, Quicktask now combines CRM and project management. But I want to go through some of these things that really dramatically improves the capability of Quicktask. So the first thing is, so we're not talking about something abstract. This is what Quicktask for ACT looks like. Now, imagine if you have an iOS device, imagine the reminders feature, and think of organizing all of your different memos. Like my wife and I, we share one account, so we'll have one reminder category called shopping, and that way we can both add to it. Well, what I thought would be useful is if we had this tool that allows you to organize all your thoughts, organize all your tasks, and then organize them within different boards. So I can go through, here's administration, here's a couple of our developers, board meetings, a development board, new feature requests, handheld contact, all of these different things that we're able to organize. So I'm going to stick with the default board, and I just want to kind of go through some of the changes that we've made with this. Okay. Now, when it was first introduced, it was meant as an internal kind of work group tool. So, you had instant access to all other users on your team. Now for us, that's considerable. We've got over 50 active users. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to expand that to include contacts. So that was a major thing because it really changed how the program was designed to work, where initially it was designed to work with other users in the group, and that it was considered kind of an internal collaboration tool. Well, we wanted to include contacts as well to make it an external collaboration tool and build in additional integrations to support it. So let's see how that works. So the first thing is we added contacts. So what you can see here is all of the contacts that we've imported in from a group. And let me just show you how that looks. Go to preferences, okay, and I've created a group called Quicktasks Sync Group, okay? And as you can see, there's almost 21,000 contacts in here. So I've connected through CAPI. You can also connect through either the SDK or through the web API. Here's the address. Here's my login credentials. I click on tests. It's reaching out, it's confirming the connections, and every single time it does that, it refreshes the list of users. So now you can see 43 users here, and then you can click on refresh data, and this will also make sure that you're getting all the latest contacts within that group, okay? And then it reminds you of when the last refresh date was, okay? And now, why do I want all of these contacts in here? Well, let's say that I want to search for someone, okay? Now see if, okay, see if let's see if I can get a particularly troublesome person here. Okay, no, Kelly, you're not in my group. This is why I got to rehearse this in advance. Okay, but let's say I was going for, Austin here. I could select this, and then I can go to Vicron. Okay, and say, okay, where is Victor? Actually, just make it easier. I'll just do cron. Okay. Okay, now I've got two selected. I click on close. Now what I can do now is I can select both these and right click and say create tasks. Okay, and it will bring in both of these people with the schedule with, and then I can add myself as the scheduled for. Okay, and all of this is important because this is how the information comes across in ACT. And then I just simply create my task. Okay, so let's say plan to bug Kelly on Friday morning. Okay, I've made a Friday morning commitment. So I'm going to say Friday. I'm going to select the time. She's a late riser, so I better just put it at 9. Okay, I don't want to miss this, so I'm going to put an alarm. I'll put it at time of event. Now, what we did is we added duration and cost when we were doing the project management integration, which I'll get to later, to this so that people can actually incorporate this as part of project management, because cost and duration are always an issue, okay? So you click on here, and this you can set, 8 weeks, 4 weeks, whichever, okay? I'm only gonna, dedicate 5 minutes to bugging her. There's no cost. And then I'm gonna click on save and close, okay? Now, if I go over to my quick tasks, okay, I see it right here. If I want to see the details of it, I've got it all right here, okay? Now, let's see, I can keep this within quick tasks, okay? And I will get an alarm at 9 a.m. In Windows if I just leave it here, okay? But if I want to make sure that this is included in ACT, then I will click on Send to ACT, okay? And this activity will go over, it will be scheduled with Vic and Austin, and it will be scheduled for me, and it will show up at exactly the time that I scheduled it, okay? Now, why is this important? Imagine if you are, you're away from your away from a computer that has Act installed, or you're regularly using Act for web, and you want to have something that very, very quickly allows you to schedule for people or clear activities. This is a terrific supplemental tool that allows you to get a lot of things done very, very quickly outside and away from Act. Okay, now, so I've done this, I've created this, I can either send it to Act, okay, and then what it will do is it will also, as it's going out, it will send an email to myself, Vic, and Austin, notifying them that I've created a meeting for them, okay, or I can send it to Web Planner. Now, Web Planner, what is it? Web Planner is a online project management tool, okay? Let me just go over here. Online project management tool that allows me to manage many, many different projects. So I can go here and I can say, let's see what this looks like. Here's our development project. Okay, I've got different assignments, things like that. Well, if I develop like, let's say 5 or 6 tasks, and I wanted to send it to Web Planner, okay, I click on Send to Web Planner. It immediately is going to say select from which project. Okay, so just think about it. I want to create a quick task added to the program. Who wants to log into a website and do it? I can immediately do it from my tool here and then send it off. But this is a new project. So what I can do is I can type in the name of a new project. It will create it and then add this task to it. Okay, so really, really powerful feature. Okay, now, obviously, creating this kind of web planner integration allows you to communicate and collaborate with people outside of your organization. The first iteration of Quicktasks forced me to, let's bring this back up, work with only users. This allows me to work with anyone outside the organization. So for instance, let's continue to pick on Kelly. Let's say that I wanted to collaborate with Kelly on a particular project. What I can do is I can send it off to Web Planner, go into the project, and then send a free invite for her to collaborate on that project. Okay, she can then log in. Okay, once she creates that free collaboration account, log in, and then suddenly she's part of it, interacting with all of the other employees. Okay, and that's where we thought this allows Quicktask to go from a cooperation to a collaboration tool that works with not just users, but outside people as well. So we thought that really expanded the capability of it. Now, once things are assigned, okay, then you can click on the refresh data, okay, and you get all of your updated tasks. And the nice thing is here, imagine this gets sent to your, actually, if I go here to Act Activities, now one of the things that is a little crazy making an Act, especially Act for Web, is that you're unable to clear a bunch of activities at the exact same time. That doesn't exist with Quicktask. What you can do is you can click on Refresh Data. I'm not going to do that, and you can select a bunch of activities at once. Okay, clear them right here. Okay, so let's say here, here, here. I select Clear, and it will clear all of them at once directly from the source of the data in Act for Web, okay, wherever it's hosted. So this is something that suddenly becomes a huge time saver. Imagine if you wanted to kind of clean up your calendar, make sure that a bunch of activities that you had completed are indicated as such within Act. You can now do that with Quicktasks without being anywhere near the database, or anywhere near even logging into the database. So this is a real efficiency tool. Now, the last thing, okay, and this was created, just again by us and our own limitations. My wife is always making fun of my memory. Well, once I delegate something, the chances that I'm going to remember to follow up get pretty small, especially if I assign something and it's out of my quick task. Because the moment you send something to Act, it gets removed from your quick task. How do I then follow up? Well, you can click on follow-ups, and then here you can click on refresh the Act tasks, or refresh the Web Planner tasks. Now, you got to remember, when you send a task out, it isn't just an export, okay, which maybe doesn't have a whole lot of technical meaning to everyone on the call, but it is actually a linking of the task. So when you send it over to Act or to Web Planner, that task isn't just exported like a contact, it is linked. So it's sent to that application and it remains linked. And why is that important? Because if you clear the activity in Act, it will update this accordingly. And if you clear it here, it will then clear it in Act, as I just demonstrated. So why is this useful? Well, if I send something over to Act, let's say I delegate something to Vic for him to complete, I don't have to check Act. All I got to do is I click on here, I click on refresh, and I can see whether or not he has cleared it. So for people that do a lot of delegating, okay, people that manage a lot of tasks and manage a team, this is incredibly useful. Okay, so this is a tool that we developed and now we use internally a massive amount. Okay, and then when you're managing projects externally, okay, this won't show you all the tasks that you have within Web Planner, but it will show you all the ones that are linked that get exported. So you can just click on here, get the latest updates, okay, and it will update it accordingly. Okay, so what we wanted to do is we wanted to develop this Web Planner integration. We wanted to, excuse me, develop the Act integration. Excuse me, let me just take a quick drink. Okay. And so that we're tying all of these programs together, like we did with Qsales, tying it together with Handheld Contact. Quicktasks ties it together with Act, and now ties it together with Web Planner. What's the one final missing piece? The final missing piece is something that we're actually finishing the development of today, and that is having quick tasks wherever you go. So let's go over here, and you can now see that we've published a blog called Quicktask Mobile, allows you to manage your tasks from anywhere. So what we've got is a mobile client that you can now take on your iOS or your Android devices, and thereby extending the reach of Quicktasks. So if, let's say you're away from a computer, you're away from, pretty much anything, okay, other than your phone or your tablet, now with this installed, you can have it, connected and add tasks, clear tasks, and it will automatically update your Windows application. Okay. The only thing I want to be mindful of is that the Quicktask Mobile syncs directly through our Linktivity servers and updates Quicktask for Act, okay, the Windows application. It does not update Act directly or update Web Planner directly. The connection with this is an extension of Quicktask for Act and not an extension so that it allows you direct connection to Act or Web Planner, okay? And the only other thing is that our Linktivity servers do have a $3 a month subscription fee to sync through it, but there's no charge for the programs here, like the Quicktask Mobile. You can have it on as many devices as you like, both Android and iOS, and you can have it on multiple of each, okay? There's no cost, and you only have to pay per user. So if you've got 5 or 6 devices, it's still just $36 a year, okay? And this also allows you to have 2 copies of Quicktasks. So what I do is I have this at home, and I have this at the office, so that I've got a copy of the Windows application in both places, and by syncing through Linktivity, it allows me to have them updated. I just click here, and then it will update through all the devices, and we've even set up a service within this so that it can, much like Act Scheduler, run every, say, 3 hours to make sure, like, let's say I've completed a bunch of tasks after I get home tonight. I know that those tasks will be synced to the Linktivity server and available for me when I come into the office. Okay, now, as I said, the last missing piece was the mobile client. Vic, are you ready to take control of the screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I'm going to, you can actually take, there you go, make you the presenter. So what Vic is going to do is give a brief demonstration of the, okay, there you are.
Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, perfect. So before I just bring up my iPhone here, this is the HEC Classic console. And so if we go up here under the field mapping, oh, sorry, let me just bring it down here.
Yes,
UC.
because we did demonstrate the API, but not the classic, which is controlled through the console.
Okay, just give it 1 second while it loads here. And so it's literally, as you see up here in the upper corner, Qsales map. As soon as you click on that, it will resend the data because it has to send a new config file, but these fields will be automatically added. So it's just very simple, just one click and you've got them there. So I just want to show that first of all. Let me
Excellent.
bring over my iPhone. So here we have, I have all my Handheld Contact applications here. I have Quicktasks. I won't use my mouse because this is actually on my device. So I just click on Quicktasks. And so to start with, I've got my dashboard. So I can look when my last sync was at 3:25. These are the boards that Ken was showing, and settings and logout. So I'll just quickly go on the bottom here and show you some of the quick tasks themselves. So here's a bunch of tasks that I have. And what I can do is I can click on any one of them. Let's go to HHC. And then on the right side, on the 3 buttons right there, I can click so I can look at the details of that. I can select priority, email this task, just like Ken was showing you, clear tasks or duplicate it so I can create something similar if I want to do something to take off of that. So let me just show you the details here. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to go into my details. And as you can see, I want to put some information in. So rather than typing away, just like in all our Handheld Contact products, the microphone voice to text works. So I will just, Ken wants to order 500 new licenses for Handheld Contact. I'm done, and it's in my task. So that's how fast and easy it goes going through. So the other thing I can do here, I can go through and I can clear the task. So do you want to clear, select the task, I hit clear, and then it's gone. So the other thing, if I click on the upper right-hand corner, here, if I want to show my clear tasks, I just click there, and then there's all my clear tasks, the ones with the dots on them. So just very simple. I'll just turn that off for now. Oh, sorry, I hit one button too many. And then we have the boards, and we have the default board here. And as you can see, this is my live data that I'm showing here. But it's very simple, very straightforward. And it doesn't have all the features that Ken showed you on the Quicktask desktop, but it's enough. So if I'm out of the office, and this happens a lot in the evenings, I can quickly put something in. And Ken says his memory is short. I think mine might be a bit shorter, but it's a very quick way for me to keep track of everything going through. And I can delete the tasks, clear them, and I can also go to, if I want to add one, I just click on the plus in the bottom left, and there I can go through, and then I can even choose which board it goes to. I'll put it to demo board, and then I'll just put test.
And click on the schedule for.
Okay.
Okay, so that you can sync all that with your data, but normally when you click on the scheduled for, because I've got this on several of my devices, I think you may actually have 2 builds old, but when you click on the scheduled for, it will immediately show you all the users because this was designed, it's called Quicktask for Act. So when you do your API connection, it downloads all the users and it downloads all your custom activities, okay, including the outcomes. So when you send it over to Act, it's going to be perfectly compatible with it. Okay. Now, one of the other reasons that we developed the mobile piece, and here's a quick sync. Okay. Yeah, you do have a couple of versions old. So I know that that's been fixed with the previous build. This is the last day of beta on this. So we've never had Vic do a demo where he had a fully functioning piece of software. So congratulations, Vic, your streak remains intact.
Yeah, that's important, very important.
Excellent. I actually think that the developers just are having fun with you and they never give you the bulletproof one. But, you know, what I liked about this is I would, and I imagine this is going to be relevant. You know, you get home from work, you're sitting in front of the TV or whichever, and you know, suddenly an idea for something that you need to follow up with. Well, you're not going to run away from where you are, but you can pull out your phone, scribble in a quick note, okay, and then click on sync. and then go back to whatever you were doing. And this isn't just, follow-up tasks, things like that. Sometimes these, for me, because my role is often directional with the company, I'll come up with a promotional idea, I'll come up with a product idea, a feature idea, and I'll pull out my phone and I'll be able to record it instantly, okay, sync it in, and then when I get back to my desk, I can, fill in some of the details. But the heart of it, I can record from anywhere, okay? And the nice thing is that wherever I am, so let's say I'm going to the cottage, let's say I'm going camping, whichever, I can sync and I can always have my list there with me. And if it's on my phone, I can update it and clear all the items that have already been done, okay? And then I click on sync, and then my team will be updated. Okay, so I'm really excited about the extended capabilities and platforms that this provides, and I think our customers will really appreciate it as well. Okay, so that is what I had scheduled to present today. So we just in summary, if I can just take back the screen, Vic.
Yeah, let me just give it to you. There you go.
Okay. Okay, so just in summary, we talked about the Quicktasks improvement, okay, and it's now integrating deeper with Act, bringing down contacts, and also with Web Planner, so you can work collaborate with both internal users and external. Okay, then we talked about the Qsales here. Just kind of go scroll down. Okay, we talked about all the new features of Qsales, which you can read here. Okay, and then here was even the first introduction where we showed the the handheld contact integration. Okay, so we've got the Quicktasks update, the Qsales updates, the integration with Web Planner, the integration with handheld contact, and so we're really pleased and excited. It's often we don't get to introduce a lot of things over the course of the summer. It tends to be slower, but we've had a lot of updates to kind of coalesce together, in one kind of week's time frame. So we're really excited to bring the announcement to our customers, and hopefully they can take advantage of the new features and capabilities for the rest of the summer. Okay, so if there are no further questions, I will let everyone get back to their day. Thank you very much for sharing part of yours with us, and I hope this was of value. Take care, everyone.